And guess what time it is? It's time to talk about Foodie Beauty once again. So she went live yesterday, as usual. I mean, what else does she do? And most of this time, or a good portion of this time, was spent outside and she was smoking her pre-rolls. Surprise, surprise, right? So I still have yet to figure out what her obsession with this underpass is. So, of course, she gets on the scooter, rides down the bike path, heads for the underpass. Now, while she was under this underpass, I counted four pre-rolls she smoked. And I will never understand the purpose of her even smoking these because she doesn't inhale. So how is she feel? I don't know. She must get enough of it into her somehow that she feels the effects because you could clearly tell when she's feeling it. So we notice that her cheeks are super red and irritated looking. I think my assumption is, I think her face is like this because she doesn't clean that CPAP mask or wash her face regularly. So, that CPAP mask, I think that's what's making her face like, because it's terrible. It looks painful, but she says it's not painful. So she says, oh, my face is red. Maybe it has to do with the new Costco face pads she got. She got some toner face pads at Costco. There are some Korean skincare. And then she goes on to say every Korean skincare she's tried has never done anything for her. It's no good. I've never tried any Korean skincare. I'm just a broke bitch. If they don't sell it at Dollar Tree, I ain't got it. Half the time I can't even afford it if they do have it at Dollar Tree. But anyways, she goes on to tell us that sunscreen hurts her face. And it gets in her eyes. Every time she tries to put sunscreen on her face, it gets in her eyes. Now, how in the hell are you getting sunscreen in your eyes every time you put sunscreen on your face? You close your eyes, you put it on. Very simple. Not for Foodie, I guess. So then she says, ooh, could I be sunburned? Is this a sunburn? Do you think I got sunburned scooting to Costco? It's a possibility. Anytime you're in the sun, it's a possibility that you could get sunburned if you're not wearing sunscreen. Newsflash, Foodie. So then she starts talking again about moving. And she says, if she were to go to Syria, she would not be living in the family home where Salah lives with his father. She said she would live in another family property. I don't think Salah would move away out of his father's home. I really don't. Then someone says, why are you even moving? You have Costco, Walmart, Loblaws. You have all these things right in your area. And she says, well, being comfortable does not make life fulfilling. But when she doesn't have these comforts, she's going to be the first to complain. Watch. Then she mentions the rent increase. Now, I think she forgets she told us it's $100. They're going to increase it $100. She says there will be a substantial rent increase, and that's bothering her. So that's part of the reason she wants to move out of there. But she says that's bothering her, and then she says, quote, everything will come out in time. She has a plan that she's not telling us about, and I'm almost certain that this plan involves her taking herself somewhere to the Middle East to be with Salah. But Salah is not going. He's going to stay in Syria where his businesses are and his family, and that's it. Then someone asked her, well, did you get evicted? And she said, no, she did not get evicted. She has voluntarily gave her notice that she will not be renewing her lease. And this is funny. She said management had approached her in the past about complaints they had gotten about her and her living situation. The filth, how loud she is, the scooter, all of this. And she says she told them, those people don't even live there. She basically told them, those are just internet trolls. So they had confronted her about it. So I'm convinced that they told her they're not renewing her lease. I don't think this was a decision she made. No, I do not. And another reason I think that she's considering the Middle East is, why did she make the comment she's going to have to get rid of her furniture? Why would she just not take that with her wherever she's going to move? She claims she's researching places in Canada. And no matter where she goes, she has a hole in her heart because if she goes to the Middle East, she's missing her family. Here, she's missing Salah. Well, honey, I don't think Salah is missing you. She says a while back, when her mom had come over, her mom had told her, hey, let's walk across the street, let's walk over to the mall. And Foodie told her, well, go ahead and I'll get on the scooter and meet you over there. And her mom says, no, just walk over there with us and we'll walk through the mall. And Foodie had to admit to her that she can't walk. She can't do it. She says her mom wasn't mad or anything. She's concerned. Well, of course she's concerned. When you moved back to Canada last November, you could walk you walked across that street to Walmart. Yeah, you had to stop 2, 3, 4 times to get there, but you did it. And now, because you have relied on this stupid scooter, she has reduced her mobility to 0. So finally, it's in the open. Her mom knows now. And, that's what her mom even told her. You can't take this scooter overseas with you if that's what you're going to do. And Chantal did say she would not be able, to ride the scooter in Syria. So she doesn't know what she's going to do. Like I said, she said everything will come out in time. So then, the mosquitoes start bothering her. One hits her in the eye, she claims. One goes up her nose, she claims. She makes a big production of this. Because, like I said, she smoked 4 of her pre-rolls just sitting under this underpass, under this bridge. Ridiculous. She decides to scoot on home. So we're outside. And she smokes some more. And remember, she got those Croc sandals. Now, these sandals, she got them in a wide width already, right? And they have the 2 straps on the top that goes over your foot. Ugly sandals. Anyways, so she's got those sandals as wide as you can make them. And she had to take her feet out of the sandals. She goes, oh, my feet hurt. And you could tell she kind of struggled to get these sandals off. And then she shows her feet. My God. You could see the indents in their feet from the tops of the sandals where the buckles are. Her feet were so swollen and red. That's all that sodium she's eating. And her diabetes, she needs to be careful. I seen someone in her comments on one of her vlogs over on YT, and they even warned her, they were her age, 42, 40, 42, and they were acting the same way as her, ignoring their diabetes, not trying to make any kind of changes. And now the woman has lost almost completely all the feelings in her feet. And her hands even. She's struggling with her hands now. And she is begging Chantal, hey, start paying attention to your health. But, of course, she's not going to. She is more worried about chasing men halfway across the world. But she does say, no matter what, she will be taking BG, her cat, with her. She will not. If the cat can't go, she's not going either. She said that before, though, before she ran over to Kuwait to be with Salah and marry him after only a month, if that. She got rid of her cat, one of which she had for 19 years. She gave away. Now this cat just turned a year in July. So, no, I don't believe it. If she decides to go back over to Syria or whatever, she will get rid of the cat, because I don't think her beezers are going to pay, $10,000 again for her to go back over there and transport this cat. So, I don't know. Where do you think Chantal's going to end up moving? Do you think her and Salah have a plan? And she did reiterate to us. She says that Salah is just trolling when he says, that he was in Turkey, he was in Spain. And, but she says she is calling him out because he does not want to come to Canada. It's not going to work. There's, like I said, when she left Syria, she signed the divorce paper and was under the impression he was going to turn it in, but he didn't. He might as well, because at this point, it's been almost a year. It's over. I truly believe that relationship is done for. Let me know what you think about it all.